Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Fuzzy Slipper edition of Cape Conversations. That's right, I'm still in my living room. So I want to welcome you today because we're going to be talking with wonderful executive director of the Sandwich Glass Museum. So come along, let's have another Cape Conversation. Hi, everybody. Oh, I am so excited to have with us today the wonderful executive director of the Sandwich Glass Museum, which, by the way, I personally think, as a person who was in retail for 40 some years, thinks has the best gift shop in all of the Upper Cape. And I mean that sincerely. Katie Campbell. Katie.
Hello. It's so nice to see you.
So nice to see you too. So, Katie, we're in a pandemic. How did this happen?
You're asking me? Well, being the medical professional that I am, I think it all started. It's
crazy.
It's crazy. It's I don't know. It's been one of the most challenging times for a nonprofit that I ever remember having.
Sure.
Fortunately, I think we're in a better position than a lot of other places. We're not really urban. We have fresh air and places to spread out and very supportive communities. So,
yeah.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but it's not easy for anybody.
No. I was laughing. It was Monday. Today's Wednesday, right? I do get my days.
Today's Wednesday. Wednesday, Juneteenth, July, yes, whatever, yes.
Whatever it is. So, but on Monday, I felt overwhelmingly sad, and Joe said, what are you morose about? You've got a nice home, you've got a yard, you've got your flowers, when you get back to teaching improv and doing that fun stuff over at Katuitt, you're going to be able to do it. So what are you whining about? And you know what? I don't even know what it was. But I did feel like, okay, this is enough. I'm done now. Go away.
Right. And I wish that we were done now, but it's,
gonna be.
I'm not sure. I think that would be foolhardy to think that we were done.
Right.
So
right.
I, however, had a better day on Monday.
Oh, good.
And I had a better day on Monday because after many, on my part, false hopes and starts that the museum would open, we actually did open on Monday.
Yay!
So, I mean, that was, I'm not going to lie, that was a huge, huge load off my mind. And there's a lot of museums that aren't open yet.
Right.
But for us, it was like, please hurry up and open because, I don't know what's going to happen if we don't.
Right.
So Monday was great. We had people. They showed up.
Oh,
everybody was super respectful of,
they wore
rules. Pardon? Yeah, they wore masks.
Oh.
My staff wears masks. They wear masks. The only person who doesn't wear a mask is our glass blower. Oh. And I'm so sorry. That's my phone.
That's right.
And I don't know how to stop my phone. Our glass blower is in front of 2,000 degrees. So the plastic masks would melt on his face. It's too hot for him to have any sort of face covering.
Sure.
So we have put like 12 feet between him and the very limited seating that we have.
Yeah.
So that's the only sort of, unfortunate thing. We don't have the technology to help him do his job, which is, be in front of fire and talk at the same time.
Well, that wasn't in the pandemic plan, I don't think.
Yeah, I didn't get that playbook, and I need to talk to somebody.
We know what to do in case of a hurricane.
Right. Well, I have that protocol already written. So
I know. See, that's what I'm saying. We just don't have this one. So nobody knows. It's all by the seat of our pants, I think.
Right.
So anyway, so what's gonna happen? What's going on? What are you? I know you're open. Give me your hours and that kind of information.
We have the same hours. We're open Monday through Sunday, 9:30 to 5. And as I said, everybody has to wear a mask.
Yeah.
We have the floors marked off for social distancing. Everything's cleaned on a regular basis. We've taken out the theater because we don't want people sitting close to each other. However, we have an exciting new exhibit that's gone into the theater that's called Light Paintings. Well, it's called Perception, Light Paintings by Stephen Knapp, who is a glass artist who does these very large murals with dichroic glass and light, and makes sort of these huge stained glass
Wow.
light paintings on the dark walls. So it's a darkened room with all of these very vivid, colorful lights. So it's not a lose, it's a win, because
Right.
it's a very, very cool exhibit that
Oh.
people really like, and it doesn't require any seating, so people are very far apart from each other.
Well, so now how long will that be there? Will it be there
That'll
like?
be there until the end of the year.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
All through Christmas and what have you.
Yep, through all of the Christmas, because it was previously used for our documentary that we showed.
Yeah.
But again, because we don't want people sort of trapped in a room in seats.
Right.
We had to change it out. So
Well,
it's like I said, it's absolutely a win, and through the kindness of the Knapp Family Foundation, we got this exhibit. So
well,
yay.
I'm going to have to come see that, I think.
Well, Paula loves it, so
I know.
Paula likes
I've already
it.
seen it. Darn it.
Yeah.
Well, she has this whole thing about me doing conversations in person, just because I keep saying, because you think I'm an old person, and she has, no, I don't want to be responsible if you catch something. So
Right.
that's why I'm doing all the Zooms as
Well, I think it's I mean, aren't we fortunate that we have this technology?
Yeah.
I mean, for this whole situation.
Yes.
I mean, yes, life stopped to a certain degree, but for a number of people, my children and probably yours, life just went right on going, and they're working from home. And so we are lucky.
My daughter's a college professor in Boston, and she was laughing. She was saying, pandemic, I won't have to grade papers because there won't be classes. No, she has a full list of courses starting at 9 a.m. going till 6 p.m. She is today grading papers up the yin yang. She said, I thought I might get a couple of days off, but no such luck. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, especially for teachers. It's funny. Somebody said something to me yesterday about we were talking about the whole Harvard thing.
Yeah.
And how they were unhappy with the foreign student issue, and they were saying teachers teach for free. They get paid to grade. I mean, it's like they want to share all this information. Yes. It's the tedious, keeping track and am I measuring how effective I'm being, kind of thing. And
right.
More power to your daughter. I mean, seriously.
Well, she's at Holt International School of Business, which is it's a university, and they have campuses in, oh my God, Dubai, London, Boston, San Francisco, and Beijing.
Wow.
And, she's been fortunate to teach a lot in London, but as she said, they've already crossed her off. She's not allowed into England currently. And, she says, I feel very fortunate because there's a lot of cutbacks throughout all of the college systems and university systems. And so far she teaches, marketing, storytelling, marketing, branding. So I think she got.
I wonder where she got that gene.
I tell her that, but she says, "Mom, no, it's not what you do." So, typical mother-daughter.
Wrong.
But it's okay. It's okay. She's much smarter than I ever was or ever will be. So anyway, so you've got that great exhibit in the big room. I call it the big room, the auditorium.
Right. And then we have Ricky Bernstein is staying through the end of the year as well in our center gallery. Nice. And his is the larger than life. It's multimedia. It's mostly glass, but there's metal and found objects and enamel. It does these sort of whimsical 50s-esque reminiscences. I can't say it. Reminiscences. That's not it. Of his childhood. Living in Brooklyn in New York in the 50s. Nice. And it's just a really happy, fun, whimsical kind of exhibit that it's just a feel-good exhibit, which I think everybody needs right now. So
Yeah, we could
we're
all
grateful to have that.
Yeah.
And then we have the incredibly talented Isabel Green in our contemporary gallery. So we've got all of her nautical glass that everybody loves. And so in general, when I walk in the door, it's a really happy place, and
That's good.
it's a fun museum to visit right now. We have no political stuff going at the moment, but I think it's okay because I think people need a break.
We're up to here with politics.
Right, exactly.
Although I must say, and this has nothing to do with politics, you and I happen to be friends on Facebook, that wonderful thing that everybody now hates, that we also are on, but we all hate it.
Right.
So you put up the greatest stuff, the funniest, sometimes the most thoughtful, but usually pretty quirky funny, that I wake up in the morning and go, oh, I got to look for Katie to see what she put up today, because it's always so much fun. But you did
so nice.
Well, no, it's true. I always like everything. If you go back and look, I always like everything you do.
You like everything I put. Well, I get mocked by my children on Facebook. I use it for the museum, and I love it as a tool for the museum.
Yes.
I just feel like I really sort of have control over it. But for my personal self, I do it to cheer myself up.
Yeah.
I just sort of, depending on my mood, whether it's, a joke or whether it's just thoughtful or reminiscent, again, another word I'm trying to say. As a tool, it's sort of a self-help tool for me. I don't do yoga, and I'm not doing any heavy meditation, but Facebook works for me.
Well, they're all very good. They're
Thank
excellent.
you.
They're excellent. But you do use it for the museum, and you put up a piece of glass. I think it was called the Wave, but I could be making that up. Oh my God, that's the most beautiful piece of glass I think I've ever seen.
Christopher Bello does that wave, and I'm not gonna lie, I love that piece. Oh. I stare at it. I wish I owned one, but I don't. But I will. It's on my list.
Can you buy it?
That's one of the downsides of this job. It's like I want everybody's glass, and my husband just rolls his eyes. It's like, yeah, Kate, we need another piece of glass, like a hole in the head. But yes, that wave. I think it's just so something for everyone. Like you can interpret it the way you want to.
Yeah.
There's no message in it other than it's powerful and it's beautiful, and I really like that piece.
It's not for sale in the gift shop.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Oh, it is?
Oh, yes, it is, and it comes in 2 sizes.
Oh.
So if you need a small one for your desk or a very large one for your mantle, please feel free to come purchase one.
And what does it run?
I couldn't tell you that. I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, you're a good retailer. Get them in the store.
But it is online. I mean, we put a link on. We put on a link with every picture, so you can go in and find that.
Well, it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, out front of the museum, you have glass flowers. I just think they're the cutest things since sliced bread.
I totally agree with you. So a couple of years back, Billy Mayer and I had a little conversation about, outdoor public art, which, along with all of you guys, I am a big proponent of public art. And we were trying to figure out, well, what could we do? I have no land, no property, although I do have 2 pieces of public art out right now, so I know. Yay me.
By the way, I love the other one, but we'll talk about that next.
Okay. So we had this conversation, and I said, it would be really great if we could do a garden. And I pulled up some pictures of different things. Chihuly is very famous for very abstract not garden art, but he's done installations in very famous gardens. Kew Garden, Atlanta Botanical Garden, the Cleveland Botanical, all over the country, right, and all over Europe. And I didn't want to do Chihuly, but I wanted something, on a smaller scale that we could use.
Right.
And he was totally up for it. And it took a little while, and then he came back and said, I played around with it, and he had these very beautiful sort of green fronds. And then I loved them. I loved them. He showed me some prototypes. He changed it and made it even better. And then he installed it. And then we had this conversation about, well, wouldn't it be great if we commissioned more pieces each year? And that's what we're doing. Like every year we give him a stipend and he adds to it. So the garden literally grows every season.
Nice.
And until it's too big for where it's going, when we'll enlarge it, he's just going to keep adding pieces to it. And the response has been amazing. I mean, first of all, everybody loves it because they can see it without, it's public. They don't have to pay a ticket price to see it. We're not enclosed in any way. But also it's very, very Billy Mayer. I mean, it's his own sort of interpretation. Nothing is literal. It's his idea of flowers and plants, loosely based on other plants.
Didn't you put a frog in it? Isn't there a frog?
Pardon?
Isn't there a frog now?
No frog. He has some orchid-like plants.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yep. He has some delphinium-like plants.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And then he has the fronds.
Yeah, the fronds.
And he keeps playing around with the process. So one of the challenges of glass is that it doesn't really like temperature change that much.
Yeah.
So we bring it in the fall so that the temperature doesn't fluctuate too much to make it crack, because glass is tricky that way. But it's just turned out to be amazing, and I just love it, and I love him, and I just love how open-minded he is and how creative he is, and everybody benefits.
Well, you know what's kind of neat about you taking it in and bringing it back is because every year it comes back, it's new again.
Exactly.
People have the attention span of a gnat, most people, right?
Right.
I mean, ask me what I have for breakfast, I have no idea. So people say, oh, wow, look at that new exhibit outside.
Right, exactly.
And look now, the flowers and all that. So that's really kind of cool. Very, very cool. Now, can we talk about the other one that I heard just through the grapevine was rather controversial at first?
Well, it's large.
It's wonderful. It's whimsical. It says, oh my God, we're not just a stuffy old museum.
Right. And we were concerned about, what the reaction was going to be. But, I got a little huffy with my team and said, darn it, we're an art museum. We're a glass art museum. We should be allowed to have glass art outside. Now, it was originally only supposed to be up for 6 months while the exhibit was going on inside. It's a piece by Ricky Bernstein. It was originally part of an outdoor art exhibit at Edith Wharton's The Mount in the Berkshires.
Wow.
So it was one of many outdoor sculptures. It was the only glass one. And Ricky said, well, would you like it when you're doing? And I said, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I do think, again, it's not political. It's very colorful and happy and also very contemporary, so that, like you said, people they think, oh, well, maybe this isn't just, another Cape Cod shaped building, white with black shutters that has old stuff in it.
Right.
Maybe this is a little bit more contemporary, which is what we're trying for.
Right.
So it's been great. We really haven't gotten a lot of pushback.
Well, that's good. I had heard one person who's an old townie who said, well, I don't quite understand why it's there. And I thought to myself, oh, for God's sakes, give it a rest. You were talking about public art, and it just burns me that we don't have more public art in the center of Sandwich. We should. We're the perfect town for that.
Well, we have the money. So I'm also part of the Glasstown Cultural District steering committee. Yeah. And we've been raising money, and we have money. We are going to be commissioning a large piece of public art, hopefully as soon as COVID allows us to meet again.
Sure.
And we've gone through the town and the selectmen. So stay tuned. We too agree with you that we are the perfect town for some sort of public art, especially if it's relevant. And we have all kinds of criteria that have to be met.
Right.
Pardon?
I said, right. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yes. So it has to be historically relevant. It has to have a solar component. It has to have some glass in it, all of which sort of scream sandwich. And yeah, so stay tuned. I think it's going to be fabulous if we ever get there.
Well, I just hope
We got the money.
Yay! Well, you got the money. That's the first step, right? So
it is the first step. Yeah.
So maybe this will just be the first of many pieces throughout the community, which I think would be wonderful. Throughout the community, to have
Indeed, we worked with
of public art.
We worked with a landscape architect who actually went through the town of Sandwich. Well, that's not true. She went through the Glasstown Cultural District, which is a designated 2-mile area around the historic downtown. And she picked out, I think, 6 or 7 spots that were appropriate for public art. And if we get our way and people respond properly and we can fund it, we are very interested in finding other ways to sprinkle it around the district.
Oh, that's great. That'll be wonderful. Excellent. I'm excited about this. So now, what do we have else going on? We're not doing anything big public meetings or stuff.
We're not.
No.
We're not. Actually, we just made a decision on Monday that we are going to cancel Seafair this year, which was an outdoor nautical glass event that was originally scheduled for May, that we rescheduled for July. We just felt we couldn't keep our guests and our staff safe with just the nature of the event. Everybody wants to get close and touch the glass, and it just wasn't going to work. And we're very sad about that because we hit it out of the park last year with that. And we have so many talented artists that participate. However, this year we also have our 2 sandwich glass artists don't have their furnaces on yet. So we don't have their glass. So that's the other reason. So stock was minimalized, unfortunately.
Right.
We just, we are so interested and committed to supporting our local glass artists that, we want them all to be, all of them to be working and being profitable, and we're just not there yet.
And you're talking about Michael Magyar and
David McDermott.
God,
yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't remember his name.
Right. So both of them don't have their furnaces lit yet, because it's incredibly expensive. And they just have to be in a position where they can do it.
Right. So, okay. So here we are in the middle of a pandemic. I mean, you wonder what they did in 1918 during all of this, don't you? I
think it's cross-stitch and basket making. I think there were some like sailor's valentines made and some whittling of,
small pieces.
Whalebone. Yeah. I think that's what the pandemic people did.
Well, and the problem is we just want to do too much right now. We want to do it right now. I certainly want to.
But we have Netflix, so
Yeah, but it's
life can't be too bad, right?
For me, I was in the middle of directing a play that was supposed to go up the 1st of May, that did not happen, and not sure if it will happen or at all. But that was, that's tough for a lot of artisans. And you're talking about artisans, glass artisans. They're all in the same boat. Nobody's making any money. I mean, truthfully.
Absolutely. It's scary. I mean, scary. I feel like the most at risk audiences, not even audiences, the most at risk people are the artists that you just can't live without, but people forget about them.
Right. Well,
because they're not essential, but they are essential to us.
Right.
And we just have to figure out how to keep them solvent.
I know.
So during the pandemic, one of the things that we did is we partnered with our glass artists that had home studios. We would promote their work, and then they would sell it out. They would mail it out of their studios. So that they could keep working. Because we have a little bit of a bigger audience than a lot of them have as individuals. And the galleries were all closed. So, it allowed us to get a little bit of traction for those artists. But, like you said, for people who are in the theater or in opera or in, dance,
music,
what do you do?
bands. Just let's talk about a rock band. They're not performing in a club anywhere. No bars are open.
Right.
There are no venues open. One group called Silent Trees. It's 2 people, and they are wonderful. They are terrific. And if you ever wanted outdoor music, they are absolutely terrific. They played at our anniversary party last year, and they play everything. They have been performing in their front yard somewhere in South Sandwich, and people from the neighborhood come, and then they give them, they pay them to listen to them. They'll throw something in the guitar case, and they have all the setup. They've got the mics and the sound equipment and all that.
Wow.
And I thought, now that's being clever. And I talked to her.
That is.
And she said, we can't really perform anywhere. So because of that, we do it in our yard. Well, even my daughter-in-law and my son, my daughter-in-law and their kids, they went, took their lawn chairs, sat, socially distanced away, and listened for an evening, And they go for about an hour and a half straight, no set break. And it's really kind of crazy fun, I think. So you may want to get to South Sandwich.
I think the pandemic has brought out the worst in some of us, but it's absolutely brought out the best in some of us.
Absolutely.
The creative people, I think, just figured out how to be even more creative.
Right.
Right. And I think that's spectacular. And I'm delighted to hear that those musicians found a way to, A, keep practicing, but B, also, hopefully make a little money.
Right. So tell me, if I have $1 million and I just want to give it to the Glass Museum, how do I do that?
I will come over and loofah your back for $1 million.
You realize somebody may take you up on that.
Yeah. Okay. If you have $1 million, I swear to God, I'll do your nails too. No. Seriously, I think we all need money. Not gonna lie. We are. You can give online. We have a donate now button. Yeah. We have an annual appeal that goes out like most nonprofits, that we just sent one out again. Or even a little bit helps. If you just want to come in and buy something and help support us and the art, that's great. $1 million would buy you a lot of glass. So, we could give you a wing, or a building or something.
So my question is,
I'll bring you a wave. Done.
So, where do they find you? What's your address? Your internet address? Your website?
We're at obviously www.sandwichglassmuseum.org.
Okay.
We're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Both Sandwich Glass Museum on Cape Cod, and Sandwich Glass Museum alone on Instagram. We're on Twitter, but there's no donating ability on Twitter. So, if you would like to support us, seriously, we could use it. And we would be so grateful, really, really grateful. But at the same time, I would also encourage anybody who has $1 million to really feel that they can give away, to really, really think about all of the arts and culture around Cape Cod right now, because we're trying all to stay alive until COVID is over, and we can all use the help. So I will say, as much as I would like the whole $1 million, if you give me part of it, that would be great, and I would be forever grateful, and that there are other little museums and arts institutions that need it too.
Sure. Well, Katie, our time has come to an end. No. You have been absolutely sensational. You are so much fun to talk to.
You're so nice.
No, I'm not. You can ask anybody. I'm not that nice. But
ask anybody. Don't ask my husband. No, I'm kidding.
Well, he's from Ohio, right?
He's from Ohio, yes. Oh, we have to talk about Ohio.
We need to talk about Ohio. We have a lot of things in common about Ohio. So
We
anyway,
do.
it's a good place to be from right now, I think. So I'm glad I live in Massachusetts currently. So anyway,
Me too.
thank you, ma'am, very much. We will make sure
Thank you.
that the website is up here on this. And just so you know, a couple of people, because they're all sitting at home in the middle of the night, they wake up, they watch me in the middle of the night. So that's the good news. Lots of people will see this.
I'm so grateful. It's a joy to talk to you always. But I also thank you for what you do. I mean, you really help a lot of people, and I watch you myself. Although I have to admit, I do not watch you in the middle of the night.
Oh,
That's just a little. No, I'm asleep.
Oh, okay. All righty, kiddo.
I watch you during the day.
All right. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Katie Campbell. Wow, she is absolutely terrific and so much fun. She's the executive director of the Sandwich Glass Museum, and they are doing some great exhibits even during this horrendous COVID event. They're open now. They are encouraging you to come. They've got some wonderful things going on inside the museum. You would just love it. Also, they have one of the best gift shops around. So if you want to buy a gift or a wedding gift or a small gift for somebody, I'm telling you, the Sandwich Glass Museum is the place to be. So anyway, thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next time on another Cape Conversation.